Good morning and welcome to today's very quick video on this Ferguson 3V55 VHS video recorder circa 1980, I want to say 86, 87. It is based again on a JVC deck, can't remember the model number off the top of my head. It's in used condition, let's say. The front panel here is slightly loose. In fact, it's coming off completely. But let's see if it actually affects the overall operation of the machine itself. Because I need to remember how to turn this on. So we used to have one of these on rental back in the 1980s and through into the early 90s, and it was actually badged as a Baird. And I got a feeling this one was also badged possibly as a Ferguson, I guess, but the badge is long gone. I think that was taken by a friend of mine to go onto one of his decks, so not to worry. Anyway, let's power her on. So we appear to be able to power on. Let's see initially if it will accept a cassette. Well, it's accepted a cassette. Let's check deck functions. Sounds good. We can get a counter display up. Yep, that's definitely playing. For some reason it's on aux, which probably means that there is a button somewhere that switched it into an aux input mode. So we will try and find that in a second. What we will do now is just to stop playback. And I'm going to go and locate some RF cables and get this tuned into the Sony flat panel and see if it actually works. Right, we've just switched on the test signal. And we're just doing a search on the Sony to see if we pick up a signal. The test signal is probably around channel 36 to channel 40, which was, I don't think I've adjusted this one, so it's probably going to be about channel 36. And I think we're getting close to detecting something with the way it's flashing. Yep, we got a program found, so it looks like it's picked up the test signal on the deck, or from the deck rather, so that's a good sign. Now I may have, and I cannot guarantee this, the actual remote control which goes with this unit. So hopefully, if somebody has another 3V55 that's in good cosmetic condition but not as great mechanically or electronically, this may make a good replacement. Certainly the innards of this one could go into a case of another one. Anyway, we won't be able to comment just yet because we need to make sure that this cassette actually plays. Today we're going to be using for our preview Summer Blockbuster preview from 1998. So what has it actually got on here? Blimey, lots of films from the late 90s. That takes me back. Oh, there it is, it's tuned in, so it's actually bang on channel 36. Yep, happy with that. So return. Oh, there we go. Bit of noise on that, but not to worry. Let's flick off the signal. There we go. Let's pop the tape in and hit play. Is it playing is the next question. Well, it is playing, but there doesn't appear to be a picture. It may be the signal from the machine is too weak, Let's check the test signal again. Yeah, that'll be why. Either very dirty heads or a problem elsewhere. Let's eject this tape and let's try another cassette. So let's see if I can eject this. Is that going to eject? Yes, it is. Ah, that may not help it. This one has got a bit of mould contamination. Right, let's go and find another cassette. Right, so I've got the machine connected up. I've also taken off the cover and given the heads a dry clean. So I need to go and get my video head cleaner in a second. And we do seem to have a fair amount of noise on the picture. We may have a duff set of heads, possibly. Audio seems fine though. Deck functions also appear to be mostly okay. This here is the clock backup battery, and that is beginning to exhibit some corrosion tendencies. So what I will probably do is snip this one off to avoid any further damages to the actual board itself. Yeah, you can see that that has gone, yeah, I think that's actually dry jointed. It's moving quite excessively, so that will need to have a bit of a clean up. So let's try this again. Yeah. Right, let's see if a wet clean of the heads will make a change. We've given the heads wet clean. And although we have audio, we don't have any video. Now I'm wondering if it's because I've got this extra long coax connection to the back of the television. It's always a possibility. So what I might try is plugging it directly into the back of the TV and see if that's any better. As an aside, I've just removed the battery backup battery, the clock backup battery, and having a look on the board underneath, it doesn't seem to have caused, if I can focus, there we go, doesn't seem to have caused too much damage. So I've given it a wipe down. What I would recommend is getting that cleaned up with some bicarb and white vinegar, just to neutralise the area. Incidentally, there is a date mark on one of the motors. Let's have a look at it again. So let's just take this servo board up. So this board actually carries audio, main PWB assembly, servo, video, and a couple of other bits. So it unclips there, unclips in the centre, and flips up. Yep, there we go, 22nd of April 1986. That would have been my mother's 34th birthday. And there's the RF can with a nice big horn logo on it, which is nice. So this does actually put the machine around early to mid 1986, which is quite nice. So that makes it about 33 years old. You can really sort of begin to tell how on these, what I would sort of class as a third or fourth generation machine, how the circuit board count has reduced, and how instead of using extra boards for extra functionality like long play and hi-fi, what's actually happening is you're getting the same board, but it's not populated with all of the relevant components. as you can see there. I'm not sure what would go in there. That's in the video section, so that may be additional circuitry for NTSC decoding, etc. I've also got the servo assembly up here, and the audio assembly up there. Anyway, let's lower this down again. So these little white tabs locate into the board. And get the circuitry, wiring that tucks in here. On the whole, these were pretty reliable decks. Certainly when we had one on rental, the only issue we had with it was a consistently noisy picture. Radio Rentals came out first and cleaned the video heads and tape path. That repair lasted a few days, quite literally, and at that point the tearing and overall sort of noise was back on the picture. So their next visit was to actually replace the entire upper video head drum assembly, and that did actually resolve the issues that we were having with picture. So that was good. Actually a lot easier to service. There is nowhere near as many belts on these later machines as there were on earlier machines. And they're well built, you know, they're not particularly terrible, especially these JVC clones. Certainly one of the better sort of lower end of the market machines you could get, and being that it's got the HQ circuitry, high quality circuitry, it's actually going to be probably compliant with JVC's full recommendations for that particular circuitry. A lot of VCR manufacturers of the time would stick a HQ badge on the front of the machine, but they would only do a certain amount to be able to achieve HQ standard or HQ rating. Something to do with increasing the white balance or something was one of the popular things to do, so it just sort of, just brightens up the picture, really. HQ was backward compatible with standard VHS, and there were a few sort of improvements on it which did improve the picture, and you know, certainly was quite a nice feature to have. A lot of newer decks actually had it in as standard, but you know, they never actually advertised the fact that they had it, because it was automatically included into the actual mechanism of the machine, circuitry of the machine. Right, let's connect this directly to the TV through a shorter coax and see if that makes any difference. No, unfortunately the picture is still absent, although we do have the sound. So this would actually make a very good machine for somebody that needs working circuitry for the front panel, but has the rest of the machine that's actually in good shape. Hopefully I have found a home for this machine. It's arguably too late in my collection, as in too new, rather, for me to have any sort of vested interest in it. But it is, you know, on the whole, it is a very nice deck, and I would entertain one as a reliable daily deck, although I'd probably want to go for one of the higher spec models that has long play and hi-fi sound, which they do exist. They are around somewhere. Can't remember the exact model numbers though. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button, and also consider subscribing for more upcoming fascinating hobbies. Thank you very much for watching.